7:46 is Central African time. Welcome back to the Oasis with me, Ntsako Mhlanga. And today I am joined by an amazing woman. I love it when the girls wear different hats because it really does show our multifaceted nature. The fact that, we were able to step into whatever industry and dominate. I mean, that's just in our nature. DAMILOLA OSIKOYA is the dynamic founder and the CEO of Voyage Travels, one of Nigeria's fastest growing travel tech platforms, and the visionary behind the Switch of Visuals production. She has built a global airline partnerships, pioneered AI-driven travel solutions, and even contributed to Nigeria's participation into 2 FIFA World Cups. But here's the twist now. My girl has taken a bold leap from travel into film and African storytelling, producing projects like The Wedding Guest, Ruin the Friendship, and developing inclusive narratives in collaboration with Judith Audu Productions. And guess what? She joins us in studio. Good morning, honey.
Good morning, my darling.
I don't think there's any justice, guys. Like, I know you're probably watching the live stream. There's no justice for your beauty. It's insane.
Oh my God, thank you.
Insane. African women, for me, like, I understand why men sometimes find themselves scurrying around. I mean, look at the plethora of
we have it all.
Well, right? So thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Thank you for having me.
You started in travel tech, we're now in film. Talk to us just about your journey in entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Again, thank you for having me. You look so beautiful as well.
Thank you, darling.
And so my journey from travel into filmmaking, it wasn't just a leap. It was like a purposeful talk, because both looks like different side of the same coin. With travel, I get to be in constant connect with people, developing itineraries. He exposed me to moving people around the world physically. It's the same with filmmaking, but through the mind, where we're taking people on a journey from somewhere but to another place, but emotionally, and it's like a perfect marriage. They're like twins. And even though at the inception I didn't know this, but over the time I just like became like a special calling where this has helped express how storytelling can influence and impact in a purposeful way. Yeah. And I can't be more grateful that is what the diversification, that is the industry that the diversification led to. And I can't wait to do more. It's just the beginning. We're barely scratching the surface.
Yeah. You know what's interesting for me is constantly seeing women being and dominating industries that were seen as male dominated. Did you find any challenges, especially in travel and tech? Especially tech in Africa is usually a male dominated industry. When you think about the people that are in Silicon Valley, for example, it's always represented by males or perhaps even white males. So how did you navigate that season?
And this question comes up a lot, and not to brag, it doesn't really feel like a challenge.
Period.
Because
Period.
One of the purpose is also to help with representation, and that is why it feels like a blessing, not a challenge, that I am a female in a male-dominated field. It looks like it's an opportunity to say women can do this as well. And often in my mind, I don't see the separation between male and female. Again, that calls to how a lot of people call this as a challenge, and I don't see it as one. Because again, we're all just humans, aren't we?
Right.
And if you've got the talent, you've got the talent. If you've got the opportunities, you've got the opportunities. And I do not think it is a mistake that it comes to women at sometimes, and at this time that it's very heavy on female representation, and that is why it feels like a calling, and that's why the stories that we're telling is very reflective on how female representation is in different industry, music industry, travel industry, even film industry, you know, because now we've got like female directors. I have a very strong female team. My best director is a female. Shout out to you, Hui. And I've got an amazing collaboration with a female producer as well. She's one of the best in the game. Women are doing things. They're changing the narratives, and it hears about like putting us on that global representation. Not that I did not see men that do this and are good at it. As far as I'm concerned, it's just like giving equal opportunities for people that can do what needs to be done.
And I like that because we're debunking a lot of narratives about women. The fact that, oh, we can't work together, we hate each other, which is completely untrue, guys. I feel like if you really want to experience a woman's love, go to the bathroom at Groove.
Absolutely. And that you're talking about as well is also has also come into play to like storytelling, and that's because a particular set of people are the one that are giving these narratives, and that is why it's so important to have female in this industry as well, so that we can tell our stories. Because to be honest, it is just the society pitching women against each other. There is no situation where women would prefer to not win because they want to be pitched against another woman. I love women.
Same.
I love that I'm a woman, and that is why it's so important for women to be at the forefront of telling these stories, because then we can correct the narratives. Because even on this journey, the people that have been most helpful to me have always been women that sent me, they've given me a compliment. I came in this morning and I was a bit tired, and then you went with all the compliments and all that, and that uplifted my spirit, and that has been like my experience throughout my life. So again, there's always this narrative. Of course, there are few ones, there are those nuances that happens, but that is not the totality of it. We do have women supporting women.
So, I mean, producing film is a very, very tough thing to do, because you essentially are in charge of the content of the film, right? And how it is displayed. What inspires your creative process? How do you come up with the content? Where do you go for the content? How do you channel that within yourself?
So again, that is greatly influenced by travel. Because if you're exposed to the world the way I am, which has been to travel, I've felt like different cultures, different experiences, and every time we create like itineraries for people to travel, a couple traveling to heal, a young girl fulfilling her dreams to go study abroad, different things, the stories, and it is moving people physically. And I think, and I saw the best way of capturing these experiences, the stories, this culture, is street storytelling. And that is the infusion, and that is the inspiration for creating stories, because again, in Africa we've got amazing stories. Like the journey are very peculiar to us, and the nuances. So it's important to me that someone from Nigeria, South Africa, Nairobi, New York, London, get to see our film and get to say, yeah, this feels true. And that is the motivation, that is the creativity, that is what to look for in a story. That's what directs the creativity of producing the film. I would always say production is an organized chaos.
Yes, it is.
But at the end of it, magic is always created.
That is fantastic. I want us to take a short break. When we come back, I want us to get into some of the things that you've created and what that actually looks like, what the producing aspect of it looks like. You know, what happens at the producer's table. I mean, I know that you guys have meetings for like hours on end, and I can imagine what goes down in there. But now we're going to take a short break. It is 7:55 Central African time right here on the Oasis.
Le monde entier a les yeux rivés sur Johannesburg. Les dirigeants des plus grandes économies mondiales se réunissent pour prendre des décisions qui façonneront les nations, les marchés et l'avenir. Vous savez déjà que Channel Africa sera sur place pour vous proposer des débats, des analyses et des points de vue essentiels. Suivez le sommet du G20 les 22 et 23 novembre en direct de l'Afrique. Restez connectés sur Channel Africa.
Africa. It's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la Double K
or more of our forests have been destroyed.
Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So, turn up the volume, feel the rhythm. Enjoy the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Ease into your weekend morning. It's the Oasis with Ntsako Mhlanga. Only on Channel Africa.
7:57 Central African time. We've got about 2.5 minutes to go before we head to the top of the hour and find out what's happening in the news. I know the big buzz is anything global at this point, whether it be G20, the Global Creative Summit. We're just going global. And I love the fact that it's Black women at the forefront of anything global because it's our time. You know what's so interesting? I was reading an article yesterday and they were talking about how this generation of women have been falsified into hyper independence, right? The fact that the narrative was kind of forced on us. Like we didn't have a choice but to be hyper independent, the supernatural women, because our grandmothers were the women who were taught that you need to just marry well and have a family and you'd be good. And then they passed that down to our mothers and they did the same thing. But then they also experienced a lot of limitations in their careers. And they're also living in a time where they can see that they could have been so much further. So now we were told that, listen, you gotta work your butt off, queen. You don't need a man. You can just fly and shine on your own. And we weren't really taught balance. And in the third hour, I want us to really get into that because I want the next generation of women coming in to realize that you can have it all. Yes. I am gonna fight for that until the day I die because we were lied to. They thought that we couldn't have it all because they haven't seen it before. And now we're living in a generation where we can actively see that you can have the life of your dreams in every aspect of it. I'm not saying we avoid of problems, but we can genuinely have it all. I'm a firm believer in that. We're going to get into those conversations in nicely in the third and final hour because I feel it's important when young women are looking at women like yourselves, they're feeling inspired. They're feeling like, okay, how do I get there? You know, there's women who are saying, okay, at least there's a blueprint of what I want to be. So I know how to get there. But let's be honest about the journey. And that's my only request, girls.
Not a problem.
So I know the morning, hey, you're recovering from speaking yesterday, but I promise I've got you back this time. It is 8 a.m. Central African time. It's time for news.
SABC News. The African perspective.
Thank you, Ntsako. Top stories this hour. SA ready to host the G20 Leaders Summit and fossil fuel lobbyists to dominate the COP30 summit. Good morning. With just a week before the start of the G20 Leaders Summit in South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa says he is happy at the country's preparedness to host the meeting of the most industrialized nations. Ramaphosa yesterday led the CEO's cleanup campaign ahead of the summit. He later visited the summit venue, the Nasrec Expo Centre in south of Johannesburg, to see its state of readiness.
I'm happy with the work that is being done. There are only 7 days to go before the G20 Leaders Summit. But so far, so good. And I'm glad that work is not only being done in the city precinct, it's being done in the greater Johannesburg area, also where our people live.
And an aid convoy in Sudan's Darfur region has been hit by an airstrike, destroying 3 trucks and damaging a UN vehicle. Paramilitary rapid support forces accused the Sudanese army of yesterday's bombing near the city of Al-Shafar, which fell to the RSF last month. The BBC's Barbara Plett Asha has the details.
A humanitarian worker told the BBC the drone struck just east of Zilinji in central Darfur state, in an area where trucks have to stop to secure safe passage out of the city. The worker said latest information indicated they were commercial vehicles carrying food. The UN's humanitarian chief, Tom Fletcher, had passed through Zilinji just hours before the strike. The RSF accused the army of committing a war crime by obstructing aid and attacking international organizations. The army hasn't commented, but has denied previous charges of bombing civilian targets.
And the University of South Africa Chancellor and former President Thabo Mbeki in South Africa says the country is in the grip of a debilitating general crisis affecting politics, the economy, international relations and the social sector, among others. He also emphasized the importance of holding an inclusive national dialogue. The former president also commended the Minister of Finance for injection funds into the national dialogue. Speaking at the Chancellor's Calabash Awards honouring outstanding South Africans, Mbeki says the national dialogue is urgent.
I expressed about 18 months ago about the urgent need for our people to engage one another in an inclusive national dialogue. I'm certain that it is a matter of common cause among us here this evening that our country is in the grip of a debilitating general crisis. And that general crisis relates to all major elements of our national life, including our politics, our economy, the social sector, safety and security, international relations, and so on.
And the Civil 20 South Africa Summit has called for the cancellation of debt of developing countries as it wrapped up its 3-day gathering in the Gauteng province's East Rand. Over 500 civil society activists and leaders met since Wednesday to discuss ways to reinforce civil society's role in tackling global inequality. C20 chairperson Thulani Chifuta.
We're actually making a bold claim and a call for the cancellation of debt of the developing countries. And that cancellation on the other side is juxtaposed by a call for measures that liberate developing economies from having to service debt at the expense of social services like education and health. We believe that the restructuring of debt to some extent must allow developing countries and economies to spend more on development than on servicing the debt.
And on to this now, environmental campaigners at the COP30 say the proportion of fossil fuels lobbyists attending the UN Climate Summit in Brazil is the largest ever at such a meeting. 1,600 delegates from oil, gas and coal backgrounds are attending. The BBC's Matt McGrath has the details.
There are far more fossil fuel representatives here than from the 10 most climate vulnerable countries combined. What worries some observers is the fact that around 600 of the delegates from oil, gas and coal backgrounds are registered on what are termed party overflow badges, meaning the individuals may influence behind-the-scenes negotiations. Despite their presence, their impact is questionable. The most recent climate COPs have seen strong support from countries for transitioning away from fossil fuels.
And a recap of your top story. With just under a week before the start of the G20 Leaders Summit in South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa says South Africa is ready to host the meeting of the most industrialized nations. For any news stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +3711 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I am Matapela Mahape.
SABC News. African perspective. Your weekend escape starts with the Oasis with Ntsako Mhlanga. Music and fresh perspective.
It is 5 minutes past 8 a.m. We're in the grand finale, and what better way to wrap things up by having a girly conversations, and I'm so glad that we're going to be honest, we're going to be truthful. Already the chats off air, we're chatting on social media. We are at Channel Africa 1. This is the Oasis, and we are joined in studio by Ntsako, who's the founder and director of KS Music Agency, the director of the Global Creative Summit, Moshito Music Conference General Manager. Hey, the girls have bios that do not play games. Alongside her is the lovely DAMILOLA OSIKOYA, who is the dynamic founder and CEO of Voyage Quest Travels, and one of Nigeria's fastest growing travel tech platforms, and the visionary behind Switch Visuals Production. And you know what, guys, in life, you need to work like your obituary is sitting right here. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. So I know that yesterday was the Global Creative Summit, Sinamandla, and what was that experience like for you?
It's actually mind-blowing because I think I'm still in a dream because it's been months and months of putting work into it.
Sure.
Especially when we heard that the G20 is coming to South Africa. So that's when the seed was actually planted, or the vision. So basically having to convince people to come on board, having to tell our stories as creatives, it has been amazing actually. The first night, which was on Thursday the 13th, it was outstanding, with the Deputy Minister of Arts and Culture being there, with MEC of Education, Sports, Arts and Culture, Mr. Madume was there. The Queen from Ghana was here, Queen Mother Nana was here. Mamu Yvonne Chaka. I could name a list of people, especially people that flew all the way from Lagos, coming to support this girl. I'm like, oh no, guys. But yes, it was amazing. And I think a lot of things are going to come out of this because it's a vision of not just me, but all the creatives that came together to build this vision and to build this platform for Africa to unite. So yes.
And what are some of the insights that you got yesterday that maybe, because as much as, yes, you are the director, I think we find ourselves learning every day, willingly and unwillingly, right? What are some of the insights from the Creative Summit?
So we kickstarted the day yesterday with culture, diplomacy and trade. On that panel, there was Mr. Andre Leroux, there was Mamu Yvonne Chaka Chaka, there was Queen Mother, there was Gigi Lamaine, and then Shane Maja from National Arts and Culture. So just kickstarting that platform, speaking about all these policies that are limiting us as Africans to actually travel and to co-produce or to find collaborations within the continent. It was quite informative. So we do have a lot of work to do. So from that, we went into music, spoke about music policies, like policies, and also like why is music not filtering into film and everything, like how do we co-produce, how do we protect the heritage, so it was a lot of information sharing. And for me, I believe that this team or this summit is not just a talk shop. So this is a group of people or creatives that actually want to action and make sure that they take the opportunity, they take the rooms as Africans. So yes, and then we had a nice panel around film and broadcasting. Amazing. Where the ladies, it was mostly ladies. Why did you guys have men on that platform? But it was powerful women sitting there, and yes, it was 2 males, but I'm asking, why did we? But anyways, we're trying to include everyone, so inclusivity is very important. But yes, so we had a very beautiful program that also went into animation and gaming, the future of animation and gaming, and how to actually put in storytelling in it, and also music. So yes, it was a vast of information shared. Yes.
And Dami, tell me, what are some of the insights that you resonated with, even outside of your panel? What are some of the conversations that you felt like, oh my word, relatable?
To be honest, it's just how open it is that I can see that the restriction between collaboration within Africa is just in our minds, and it's a narrative that has been passed on, because I do see the openness and the willingness for collaborations, and how it's just been that we've just have like restrictions, and again I'm like the beauty of travel, because being able to meet with these people and have conversations with these people, already we've got like some kind of collaboration going on. We're just between yesterday and now, and it shows how powerful that is, because again, across the continent in Africa, we've got like different talents and different infrastructure and different opportunity, and coming together to co-produce or do projects together is actually what will be mind-blowing. And I think that is what is waiting to happen to revolutionize the whole industry, I mean globally, and you can imagine how powerful that is. That was so mind-blowing to me, and because usually we just be like, pitching African countries against each other, they don't want to work with each other, or we're trying to compete with each other, but that's not what I have gotten to see. Like I actually see how open and how friendly, how everybody's hoping to actually see collaboration, and it is the beginning of an amazing thing. Thank you for opening up this. This is I can visualize, I can see the future of this, and it's powerful. It's bigger than us,
for sure.
And this is what we want to be part of. Yeah.
It's for the girls, by the girls, which is absolutely amazing. What do you think is missing within the film and broadcasting industry? I mean, when we gather and have these conversations, I don't think we can ever have them enough, because each year brings its own new challenges, right? We look at this year, digital media and AI have really convinced us that, like someone could for a moment sit here and then fly into a helicopter, and someone is convinced that it's real. So I feel like we're fighting between what's real and what's not real at this current moment. But what would you say is currently missing within the film and broadcasting and the creative industry that we need to kind of fill in the gaps now?
Is that for me?
Yes, it's for both of you, but I wanted to start with you. Yes.
So for me, what is missing is our stories. I think that our stories need to be told even more, because with the challenge of animation coming in and the challenge of AI coming in, so it's becoming very challenging to tell what's real and what's not. But we grew up with a lot of stories from our grandparents that were told. We have daily experiences and stories that we have that are not being captured. So I feel that if we go back to the originality of it and just try and show that life is real besides the AI and the mainstreaming, and
and just what she had said, the authenticity of the stories. A lot of times, for the longest time, our stories are being told for us. It's about time we get in front of that and tell our stories, because in other people in the Western world telling our stories, a lot of nuances are filtered out, and that we do have original stories. We have, it's so powerful, and that is why it's important that this collaboration happens now. And I'm so just mind-blowing that this summit is happening now. It feels like it's just the right time, because no one can tell our stories better than us. And with the AI and the animation thing going on, I again always just say, it is the prompt that you give to this AIs and all of this thing that is happening. Because even someone flying from somewhere to another place is you giving it the prompts. The AI and the artificial intelligence is basically being trained by our minds, and it's just making it better. So again, what are we feeding it? How can we find a balance between using this technology and telling our original stories? I think that is what is missing, and I think we're here to bridge that gap.
Use it as a tool, I guess, instead of it being you or replacing a human's mind. So you just learn the advantages of using it.
I low-key wish, before we take a break, I low-key wish we treated life like AI. We give it the prompts.
Sure.
We fully trust in the results that it's going to give us. We are dependent on the results it gives us based on our prompts. And we are not afraid of the answer because we gave it that.
Yes.
I really wish we treated life like that,
It's
you
about
know?
time.
It is.
You know, to say, listen, life, I'm going to be a wealthy person. My business is successful. Generate it. And I wish we treated life like that and just gave it those type of prompts.
It doesn't even work like that. You can always go back to tweaks, because again, there are times when you give prompts and it doesn't give you what you want, and then you go back and like, can you make this better? Can you make this? Can you give this color palette? Can you? So again, it's about time.
It is. Hey, because I like the conversation right now, because when I was planning all of this, I started becoming delusional, and I kept on telling myself delusional is the only way that I am actually going to deliver this.
Yes.
Because if I face my challenges right now, I'm not going to wake up from this bed. I'm not going to send that email. It's going to stop me. So I better plan for it as if it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Have faith in God that God will deliver this. So Thursday morning, I broke down. I was like calling my dad. I was like, you know what, Dad? I didn't know it would have to take so much to have faith in God. But right now, it's hitting me, this faith. Everyone is coming. I'm not sure if they're going to show up at the venue. I hear that deputy minister, everyone has arrived. What if this fails? So that doubt kicked in. But I think I had to apply that faith. I was like, okay, fine, let me have faith that this will work out. So my dad prayed, and it was beautiful. It was out of this world. It was mind-blowing. So I think, yes, we need to treat life with a bit of faith and a bit of believing that the greatness will come out, the great results will come out.
That's beautiful. And I was actually going to come to that now, is the support structures that you ladies have created in your lives to lift you. You know, the one thing that we never want to sell is that we did this on our own. And yes, I'm sure the majority of the work, but you having that prayer has probably lifted you up and spurred more than, you know, maybe sometimes funding can. Maybe you getting that message or that friend sending it on their status and advertising it. You know, it's the small things that people do to lift that. So talk to me about your support structure and what does that look like?
To be honest, I think my superpower is attracting good people in my life.
Oh,
I think it's a superpower. I've got an amazing team that looks like they're gonna lay down their lives for me, and every time I'm like, I'm flying. Because again, just like you said, the real test of being a leader is not to find people that mirror you, but people that have what you don't have. How do you attract those people? How do you attract a support system that, you know, that works? And this is about like people believing in you, seeing that vision that you're driving. And my support system has been amazing. I've had like collaborations that are out of this world, where things just align. We have like the same values, and you know, in production spaces, you can argue respectfully, you can communicate clearly, and I don't take these things for granted, because when you don't have that, all your work can come crashing a little bit. No one is an island. No one can do it by themselves. And to even buttress that point is all the amazing people I've met, and even in South Africa in a short while. Just even as I landed, the friend dropped me at my hotel, to meeting you as well. Like, and then just, you know, even the vibes from you this morning. It's always like everywhere I go, I get a new family, and that is so amazing to me, because now I know I can do anything, because everywhere I can rely on people. Like I'm gonna call you very soon, and I know you'll answer me.
And I will. And I think that's the nice thing about feminine energy, right? Is that you radiate that, and that's why it's a superpower. It's because you're only getting back what we put out, right? Hence the success. I mean, the success of the Global Creative Summit. It's the fact that you said, listen, I'm going to put my life on the line to make sure that I give other women a platform, and that's why the success is reaping back. Like all we're doing, girls, is planting and reaping and planting and reaping and planting and reaping. We're eating our own fruits, and I think that's what excites me about the women in this generation. We're just so dynamic, like scarily dynamic. When what we want and desire, we can go for it. And that's why I don't want us to convince ourselves that we can't have it all. The fact that we have the career because we went for it.
Yeah.
Which is also influenced by a lot of other people.
Sure. Yeah, we can have it.
You can. We're going to take a short break. It is 8:20 Central African time right here on the Oasis.
Africa at Play with Neto and ETO Chemane.
I've witnessed something fresh, something exciting, and something very inspirational from the president of the country, William Ruto. Whenever athletes are performing to their best level, he always comes on board to reward those athletes, be it football, be it athletics, and not leaving it up to the sport ministry.
The president realizes that sports is a business, and for that reason, he also reduces the number of people who are jobless, because sports now is such a serious business, and for that reason, commercialization of sports is a major way of improving or increasing employment opportunities for the young people, and that is why the president has been very persistent in trying as much as possible to inspire more sports personalities to reduce the baggage of the people who are struggling to get job opportunities in the country among the young people.
Francis F.M. Mutegi, our correspondent from East Africa in Nairobi, Kenya.
Live every Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time. The sound of Africa is evolving. Experience our new mobile app. Free to download, free to connect. Ease into your weekend morning. It's the Oasis with Ntsako Mhlanga. Only on Channel Africa.
Welcome back to it, and I'm with my girls in studio. And let's chat what's next. I know that we just closed the chapter of Global Creative Summit, so chances are a spa date, some bottomless mimosas is probably what's coming next. But I'm actually more so asking what supports or what's next in terms of career, in terms of next move, so that we are constantly creating new communities, right? We might find that, I have an idea or I have a resource that can get us to where we need to go. So let's spill the tea, honey. Is this coming up?
So yes, so we've planted this seed in South Africa. So now we have to make sure that we travel the continent, spreading the word of unity and collaboration. So we are having a couple of conversations that the Global Creative Summit must go to Seychelles, go to Lagos, go to Reunion Island, just to make sure that everyone knows about this platform, because as we are planning to follow G20, so next year they're going to the US. So we want to make sure when we are there, we are sitting and representing African voice and the African creatives. So we've got a big task on our hand to actually travel the continent and make sure that we are known and we are visible in what we are trying to do to actually unite and create sustainability for the creative sector. So we also did create a number of legacy projects, which some legacy projects we will be outrolling, looking for a creative hub, building creative hubs where creatives can actually come and they can collaborate, they can do cultural exchange. So there are many plans in engaging government as well for them to come in and support our framework, what we are doing. So even today we at Rosebank again to have like a financial talk. So financial literacy is very important, and I think it's one of the top issues that is affecting the creative sector. So we want to carry on with those financial literacy summits, so we make sure that the creative is not splurging their first paycheck or their big paycheck, and also how do these royalties get paid into these accounts, and then finding a whole financial structure, making sure that creatives are able to buy their own houses, have cars, have a normal life like a normal person that is working, because this is our work and our livelihood as well. So we are looking forward to the last day of the Global Creative Summit today with the financial literacy, and then an annual general meeting where we'll basically discuss the future of the Creative Summit, and also probably elect a framework on how are we going forward with these continents that we have to visit. We did have about 13 countries coming in for the Global Creative Summit. 2 of them were participating online. So we've got about 15 countries in the next year to actually go and set up the Global Creative Summit. And for other people, it might be difficult, but for us, it's quite easy because, I mean, we are here right now. We're going to have a film summit in Lagos, Nigeria. We are going to have music festivals in Ghana. So it's amazing and it's very exciting because it's a group of young people that are excited to change the narrative for the creative sector. So yes.
I'm gagging.
So Global Creative Summit, our new our new tagline now is a passport to possibilities. So that's where we're going.
Get out of here. My passport is pink, darling. Best believe I will join you, okay?
Love that color.
Yes, Davi, tell me what's next, honey.
Yes, coming off of the last production that we've done that's gone to the big cinema and now coming to streaming in a bit. We're laying the pipeline of doing more stories that blends across culture, that infuses representation, Afrobeats, music, and all of that. And there's already one in the pipeline that is very female representation focused. That is coming out next year, Easter period. And we're continuing in that line. Most recently is that we are starting something similar in travel as well, which is Travel with Purpose. The maiden, I know. The maiden one is happening in Nairobi on the 29th of this month, and it is also infusion and networking of creatives and with corporate people as well. Of course, we always need the finance
for sure.
And then it is also very much focused on how collaboration can happen, how we open up collaboration and networking with our counterpart in the continent, and how we remove the restriction that has always been placed there. And the next one is happening in Cape Town next year. So back here again next year, and so these are the things in the pipeline, because again, the motive is to create things that outlive us. That is the legacy we want to do things that are bigger than us. We want to do things that will outlive us, and this is the foundation.
For sure.
My girls, thank you so much for joining us. And honestly, God's blessings to all your plans. I do trust that they're going to happen, and I'm excited to be a part of this journey. Please don't leave me out.
We're not leaving you out.
How can we?
Invite. Please send us an invite. I'm so excited to be celebrating you girls and really keep being an inspiration. As much as it doesn't feel like it, there's a lot of people who are incredibly inspired who are pretending not to see you. Trust. They just act funny. They turn their ticks to grey so that they see with eyes. She mustn't see that I'm watching her, but they are watching and they're very inspired. It is 8:28 Central African time. Let's enjoy some music right here on the Oasis.
Celebrate life every day. Tune in to Channel Africa. Stay connected through our new website and free